Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. We're going to read from text 41 to 47, right? That's what it gave me, from 41 to 47. Is that correct? So what I'm going to do, because the verses, there's no purport, I'm just going to read through them straight. I'm going to read through them straight, all 7. What chapter is it? Sure, good. Taptahema Samakanti Prakanda Sarira Navamaga Jani Kantadvani Ye Kambira. Translation. The luster of his expansive body resembles molten gold. The deep sound of his voice conquers the thundering of newly assembled clouds. Text 42. Daigya Visare Ye Apanara Hata Chari Hasta Hoya Mahapurusha Vikyata. Translation. One who measures 4 cubits in height and in breadth by his own hand is celebrated as a great personality. Text 43. Nyagroda Paramandala Hoya Tandra Nama Nyagroda Parimandala Tanu Chaitanya Guna Dama. Such a person is called Nagroda Paramandala. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who personifies all good qualities, has the body of a Nagroda Parimandala. Prabhupada says, no one other than the Supreme Lord himself, who has engaged the conditioned souls by his own illusory energy, can possess these bodily features. These features certainly indicate an incarnation of Vishnu and no one else. Text 44. Ajanulam Vita Bhuja Kamala Lochana Tilapula Jini Nyasa Sadum Suvadana. His arms are long enough to reach his knees. His eyes are just like lotus flowers. His nose is like a sesame flower, and his face is as beautiful as the moon. Text 45. Shanta Danta Krishna Bhakti Nishta Parayana Bhaktivatsala Sushila Sarva Bhute Sama. He is peaceful, self-controlled, and fully devoted to the transcendental service of Lord Krishna, Sri Krishna. He is affectionate towards his devotees. He is gentle, and he is equally disposed toward all living beings. Text 46. Chandanera Angada Bala Chandara Bhushana Nitya Kale Pare Karane Karina Krishna Sankirtana. He is decorated with sandalwood, bangles, armlets, and anointed with the pulp of sandalwood. He especially wears these decorations to dance in Sri Krishna Sankirtana. Text 47. E Sabdaguna Lana Muni Vaisham Payana. Sahasra Namne Kaila Tandra Nama Ganana. Recording all these qualities of Lord Chaitanya, the sage Vaishampayana included his name in the Vishnu Sahasra Nama. Om Jnana Tamadandasya Jana Jana Salakaya Takshmuli Iminitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manom Bistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadam Mayam Daratisva Badantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Patakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savahutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahad Gana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitam Cha. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu, Dina Bandhu Jagatpate, Gopisha Gopika Kanta, Radha Kanta Namostate, Tapta Kanchana Gaurange, Radhe Vrindavaneshwari, Rishabhanustade Devi, Harimami Haripriya, Vanchakavatarubhyas Cha, Kripa Sindhu Vevacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadha, Shri Vasudeva Gaura Bhaktavinda, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So these are descriptions of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Actually, the three pillars of literature that the great Acharyas Prabhupada has given us. First, the foundational studies. Which one is that? Anybody tell me? The first one. Bhagavad-gita, that's right. And the second one is, that's called the graduate study. And Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita is called the postgraduate study. Actually, when they first came, Prabhupada had just actually started translating the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Really, when I came, the only books that were available was the first 3 volumes of Bhagavatam, Nectar Devotion, Bhagavad-gita, and Teachings of Lord Chaitanya, TLC. And TLC, by the way, is Prabhupada's only personal self-commentary of Lord Chaitanya, the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. So Lord Chaitanya is very merciful. There's a verse, Srila Rupa Goswami, we praise all the time, and that verse is Namo Maha Vindanyaya Krishna Prema Badayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namani Gaura Vishay Namaha. He's offering his respectful obeisance unto Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself, having assumed the golden hue of Srimati Radhika, and he is magnificently bestowing Krishna Prem all throughout the universe. Actually, all their acharyas, actually, from Vishwanatha Chakravarti, Baladev Vijayabhushan, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, they all have that quality what's called Vandanyaya, magnificent. The personalities are very magnificent. Just like Bhaktivinoda Thakur, during his time, before him, the Vaishnava Sanghas was almost in a dormant state, and no one took it very seriously. And he had to come to reestablish it. In fact, it was just mostly, it was so dormant that there was nothing around. So he came and reestablished the real principles of Vaishnavas. And because of him, it became worldly respected. See, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave us so much, and it's understood that in spiritual development, you have to go through the 4 sampradayas. And it's understood that Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya is considered the chief of the 4 sampradayas. First of all, can anybody tell me the 4 sampradayas? Sri Sampradaya? Okay, the Sri Sampradaya is represented by who? Lakshmi Devi. And who's the Acharya? Ramanuja. That's where I live, in the Srirangam, down in Ramanuja, down in Srirangam. And then you have Brahma, and the Acharya for that's our Sampradaya is Madhva. And then where they have, what's the third one? Kumara. Okay, who's the Acharya? No. Nimbaka, yes. And then the last one is Lord Shiva, and the Acharya for him is Vishnu Swami. But can you tell me why? What's the reason why the Madhva Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya is the chief? Say it again. No, I can't. I'm asking, why is Madhava Gaudiya Vaishnava, our Sampradaya, that's what we follow, Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya, and it's considered the chief of all four. But there's a reason. And what's the reason? Yeah, that's right, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took two principles from each of the four Sampradayas and added to our Sampradaya. That's why we're very fortunate. We're so fortunate, you know. We have no idea how fortunate we are, really. Really. We don't have a clue, man. He took two. Now, for each one, can anybody name the two from each one? Come on, y'all. Let's interact. This is an interact discussion. The first one from okay, Madhava Gaudiya Vaishnava, the two principles from the Madhava was the defeating the Mayavadi philosophy. Defeating the Mayavadis, and the two was service to the devotees of the Lord. Okay, now from the last one, the second one, was from the Nimbarka Sampradaya. The two principles Lord Chaitanya took was the need to take exclusive shelter of Radharani and the mood of the gopis, those two. That was Nimbarka. And the third one, from the Gaudiya, what is that? No, that's not from the Gaudiya. This is the Vishnu Swami, Rudra, Lord Shiva. The two principles from that was complete dependence on Krishna and the path of spontaneous devotional service, Raga Marga. Vishnu Swami. And for the Madhava Gaudiya Vaishnavas, was defeated of the, like I said, the Mayavadis and worshiping the deity of Krishna. And plus, when Lord Chaitanya combined all four, we also added Radha Krishna. And Prabhupada explained that our worship, even though it's Radha and Krishna, in the beginning we're worshiping Radha and Krishna in the mood of Lakshmi Vishnu, with all the reverence, not spontaneous. Because it's a gradual process. So Lord Chaitanya, he came actually for 3 confidential reasons. Actually, Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj explains that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Satyananda Gaurahari, who's Krishna himself, Swayam Krishna. Not only is he called Bhagavan, but he is Swayam Bhagavan, which means topmost, or like Otuya, second to none. There's no one superior. Like in some parts of India, they speculate that Krishna is an incarnation of Vishnu, or Krishna comes from Vishnu. And that's not the case. Krishna is number one. Prabhupada gave the example of the candle. You like the different candles, they all equally have the supremacy, potency, but there's still one original. And Krishna is the original. So Krishna Das Kaviraj also says that Krishna is eternally situated with all his attributes and his power, which is personified in the form of Srimati Radharani. He says, even the sun could be separated from heat and light. Radha and Krishna can never be separated. That's why Prabhupada always says that we always have Radha and Krishna, Lakshmi and Sringar, Sita Ram. Never Krishna by itself. Although some parts of India, they worship Krishna alone. But Krishna and Radha are never separated. And then Krishna Das Kaviraj also says that Krishna played in Vrindavan for 10 years. He took birth in Madhava, Gokula, and played there for the first few years. Hare Krishna. And then both families, they moved to Vrindavan, where they enjoyed unlimited pastimes. Later, both families moved near Radhakunda, where Nanda Baba stayed at Kalgram. Then they moved to Kamya Yavana and Kalavana, and finally Nandagram, Gokula, and Varshana. And in the villages that was made, respectively, Radha and Krishna met at these places, and their eternal pastimes was performed there. He said, Krishna comes to this world, the whole Vraj and all his associates, Yamuna River, go over down here, all the different paraphernalia, all the 84 crosses, all the different personalities, associates of the Lord, they all come just so that he can sprinkle drops of mercy on the jivas so that they will want to come and live with him forever. That's how kind the Lord is. He's so kind. And then Krishna Das also says that Lord Chaitanya appeared for 3 principles. First was to relish the position of Srimati Radharani. Actually, these are all what's called confidential reasons. To relish the position of Srimati Radharani, who is the prime reciprocator of transcendental love of Sri Krishna. And Lord Krishna is the reservoir of transcendental loving transaction with Srimati Radharani. The subject of those loving transactions is the Lord himself, and Radharani is the object. Thus, the subject, the Lord, wanted to relish the loving mellow in the position of the object, Radharani. That was his first purpose. Then the second one for his appearance was to understand the transcendental mellow of himself, because Krishna is all sweet. He's all sweet. And Radharani's attraction for Krishna is sublime. And to experience that attraction and understand the transcendental sweetness of himself, he accepted the mentality of Radharani. See, Krishna is very kind, and Lord Chaitanya is even kinder. And then the third one, he appeared was to enjoy the bliss tasted by Radharani, because he saw that Radharani's love and exchanges was more than his love and exchanges toward her. He wanted to see how she's getting that. Why is her love more than mine? And the only way he could do that was take the position of Srimati Radharani to exchange the mellows. And because Srimati Radharani felt more transcendental pleasure in the company of Krishna than he could understand without taking her position. So he took the position of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in order for that to take place. He said, therefore know the transcendental pleasure of loving Krishna. Lord Krishna appeared as Lord Chaitanya and accepting the emotions and the bodily luster of Radharani. So Lord Chaitanya is a combined form of Radha and Krishna. His loving relation, his loving for Krishna is exactly the same as Srimati Radharani. And of course, he also appeared to preach the special significance of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, and to invite all the conditioned souls to come and experience that bliss by chanting that Maha Mantra over and over again. You see, seeing this and learning this, I realized that when I came, I was 15. Actually, I'm coming embarrassed to tell people this now, because it makes it seem like my parents was irresponsible. Because who's going to let a 15-year-old kid do something on their own at such an age like that? But it was Prabhupada and Krishna's arrangement. I mean, now that I think of it, because that's just unheard of. Nobody does that. Well, that was Prabhupada's mercy and his Krishna's arrangement. But traveling all over India and seeing the devotees and the people, it's just very easy to take up Lord Chaitanya's mantle here. I mean, the airport should be full of people, individuals leaving. Every day there should be a crowd of devotees leaving to go to different parts of the world to distribute Prabhupada Lord Chaitanya's message. I mean, think about it. If that was taking place, the world wouldn't be the same. I mean, it's not the same for what Prabhupada did, but if it was on that level, because during Prabhupada's time, most of his disciples were, 20 years old and below, a bunch of kids, really, but because of his influence. That's why that prayer, Vandanyaya, he's magnificent. His potency, so powerful that everyone surrendered to it and wanted to give their whole life to him. And Lord Chaitanya is the same way. And all their acharyas have the same quality. See, that's the thing about this two systems. You get the top down and the bottom up. 90% of the world is the bottom up, meaning that they may accept some level of authority, but basically it's what they think. It's what they understand and what they think. But we're so fortunate we have the top down. Evam prampra praptamimam racha yovidu. The prampra. We accept the parampara as it is. The acharya has given us the information. Unchanged. I was really fascinated by that every acharya, when I read the Bhagavad-gita, I was blown away from reading the Gita at 15. Because I understood that, you mean I'm not black? Because I grew up during the civil rights era, in America during that time, it was the era of, Martin Luther King, the civil rights, the Vietnam War, all those were going on at that time. And when Balaka Prabhu gave us the Prabhupada's Bhagavad-gita, the concept of not being your body, that concept was never told. I never heard that before. The concept of your spirit soul and the body is just a vehicle. That was really fascinating to me. So I understood that Prabhupada's information was very profound and that everybody's going to be able to understand that. That's why this information is so powerful and is so profound. These books are so great. In fact, I have to read this to you. This is a jewel of instruction I want to share with you from Prabhupada. This took place here. And this took place here in Mumbai in 1974. This is Prabhupada. He's explaining the importance of reading his books and his level of a personality when it comes to him and Krishna. He says, quote, this is a conversation he had with one devotee named Bhagavat Das Vanachari here in Mumbai. He said, every day you have to read my books. When did he say? Every day. Every day. Then he says, do you know that every day even I read my books? Then he says, do you know why I read my books? Anybody can speculate why? Anybody? I read my books every day because even I learn something new when I read them. Now, if Prabhupada reads and gets something new, what to speak of us, huh? What to speak of us? And then he says, because these books are not my books. He says that. So what do you mean? Prabhupada we're just saying my books, and now he's saying it's not his books. Wait, what's going on here? Huh? He says, I do not write these books. Every morning when I sit here to write my books, Krishna comes personally and he dictates to me what to write. He didn't say, I get it from my brain or some dream or it comes from an astral level. What did he say? Personally come. That's the position of Mahabhagavata. They're in direct contact with the Lord. Direct. That just shows you the level of the Mahabhagavata and the parampara, that parampara we have. Everyone are equally the same. There's no drop. There's no drop from one acharya to the next. He says, therefore I read them, even I learn something. That shows you the power of Prabhupada's books, because they were dictated by Krishna. And that's why in the little service that I did in my book, I didn't put in my words. What can I say Prabhupada hasn't said? Nothing, nothing. And it's better for you to hear from him than me. Have more potency. Which it did. In fact, I have my own title. Trust me, I have my own title. And one God brother said, why don't you use a quote from Prabhupada for the title of your book than yours? I couldn't argue with him. Although I was still attached to my title, my own title, I was still attached, but I couldn't argue with that. So I surrendered to him. And the first quote that I saw, it was two quotes actually. The first one was, anyone who takes birth as a human being in India, Abhadit Bhumi. And the second one was, not the cats and dogs, but those who take in human form. And so the book was actually a big, thicker book, not the small one that I'm distributing. It was actually bigger, but I condensed it. I took the ones out because what happened when I tested it in the United States, the title, anyone who's taken birth as a human being in India, Bhagavad Bhumi, all the Americans, they immediately thought that was for the Indians. Not understanding that anybody is as a human being. But the other quote, not the cats and dogs, but those who take a human form, they couldn't identify with that easily. So what I did, I took all the information that was directed towards Bhagavad Bhumi and put it in the small one, and then a follow-up, I'll use that title, not the cats and dogs, but those who take in human form. Instead of one thick book, just have two. But the point is, there's Prabhupada's words, there's his instructions, it's his jewels, and it goes right to the heart of the reader. And Prabhupada said, even if you have a book, you have a book in their house, and not read it, just having it in the house, just by touching it, just touch it, they get benefit. What to speak of reading it? One word, he says, one word read, you get tremendous benefit. Just one word. One letter, he said. I remember he said one, just by reading one letter. Because it's on a transcendental platform. There's no material condition that can check the transcendental sound vibration. So we have to always read Prabhupada's books and buy all the instructions there. He's given everything. Everything's in the books. And it's a testament to all of us, because most of us came because of Prabhupada's books and his program. What is it? The Prashadam? Prashadam too. In the deity worship. See, of all the four sampradayas, I was saying, we're so fortunate, because see, I'm in Srirangam. And the Ramanuja, they don't even really follow Ramanuja's instructions, the Babas. They don't chant, no japa. You can't even go to the temple and have a kirtan. We tried that so many times. They won't allow no Harinam. I cannot have Harinam with one of the sampradayas of, but that's how fortunate we are, because Lord Chaitanya instituted that. Lord Chaitanya gave all this. And that's the Yuga Dharma for this age. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The most powerful mantra on the universe, on this planet. The Maha Mantra, the greatest mantra. And by taking advantage of the Maha Mantra, it cleanses the heart. It cleanses. Because we've been recycled in this birth, death, old age, disease cycle over and over again. Okay, now I gotta ask you another question. There's what's called the 4 fours. I call them the 4 fours. 4 fours. And I know you know them, but you probably never heard the concept like this before. I call it the 4 fours. I always teach to new bhaktas, and I taught it to my granddaughter. She memorized them. The first the first of the 4 fours is, there's 4 problems of life. What are the 4 problems of life? Birth, disease, old age, and death. That's one of the 4. The second 4 is the nature of the conditioned soul. What is that? Conditioned soul. What? 2? That's 2. Right. That's cheat, illusion, make mistakes, imperfect senses. And the liberated soul is completely opposite of all those four. They don't cheat. You can't be cheated. They don't make mistakes. They're not under illusion. And they got complete control of the senses. Okay, that's 3, right? That's the second one. Okay, yes. So here's the third 4-4. I call them 4-4s. This is the third one. Animal propensities. Mating, defending. Yeah, because that's the third 4-4. And the last 4-4, come on, everybody knows the last 4-4. The last 4-4, everybody knows, especially new initiates. Yeah, okay. Right. So we call those the 4-4s. The 4-4s. You must know, you must not forget, and you must guard against and know. We all have to know these 4-4s. So any questions? Comments?
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for the wonderful lecture. Just wanted to know, I was curious about the title which you had in your mind.
Oh, okay. That mine was Unfortunate and Fortunate Souls of Bhagavad-gita. The fortunate, unfortunate souls. Because see, I did 15 years of research in that subject matter. And you're fortunate. You see what I'm saying? You're very fortunate to take birth here in Bhagavad-gita. There's no doubt. And you've already put in the work. But on the flip side to that, on the other side, it's unfortunate for not to take advantage of it because you already did the work. You know, if you already put in some work to do something, when you want to finish? I ask people this all the time when I'm on the train, plane. You know, I ask them that if you start something and you did 50% of it, wouldn't you want to finish? They don't have a clue what they've done, but they did it because you can't take birth here as a human without doing it. It's just not possible. It's just true. It's not false praise or just pump you up and make you feel good. It's just the facts. I'm just speaking facts now. It's the truth. So all you have to do is just to do that. So if you don't, that's very unfortunate. Prabhupada calls it suicide. It's like suicide. You committed suicide, especially those who've already put in the work. It's different if you're from a different country, didn't have it, and you're fortunate to take advantage of it. But to take birth here, come here, take birth here. Like yesterday, I was talking to a devotee of Prabhu yesterday. He was born in Jagannath Puri. You know, 20 kilometers from there. And he was asking about his family problems and things like that. I said, wow, I'm thinking in my mind, not downplaying his condition, but I'm just saying, thinking, he's so fortunate. Does he know how fortunate he is? Why worry about all that? See, whatever you're destined to get, whatever you're destined to have, it's going to come. And it's not going to be smooth sailing. It's going to have all these curves in it because we are all individuals. And every individual, especially of devotees, what's called adhikar. Our adhikar are different levels of understanding. And the adhikar means, what is that? Adhikar means sentiment of understanding. Your understanding of something may be different from his or hers. And just because you have a certain level of understanding doesn't mean the next person's going to get the same. We're all individual. We all have different levels of karmatic background. And we have to really see that. It's not no one shoe fits all. We're all individuals. And everybody has their own karmatic background. But when you understand that, you have more equal pose in your work and when you're projection and performing your activities. Those are called zeros. Those are the zeros. Everybody gonna have their zeros, what they're gonna get in this life. Some may have 1,000, some may have 100,000, some may have a trillion. That's gonna be there. But the one in front of those zeros, that's the most important. And we have to always remember that. And it's not going to stop. And I'm going to tell you, personally, you can think that you're going to, it has nothing to do with the intelligence about what we're going to do. It has nothing to do with know-how or any of those factors. If it's destined to happen, it will. Not even without such endeavor. But if it's not, you can try all you want. It ain't happening. It's not going to go down. This mindset, people think, the harder you work, if you work hard and you can achieve. Okay, that may be. But that does not necessarily mean that. It's karma. The karmatic factor is there. And it's not going to go away because this body we already performed and everything that's connected with this body is coming. And right now we're creating our next existence. That's why that one's so important. We have to see that. It's not cheap. This is not a cheap process. This process is the highest. Not on the planet, but in the whole universe. It's number one. You see, even the demigods praying to come take birth here in Bada Bhumi. Even they want to come. Any more questions? Comment? Gold Premanande Haribo. Jai Shri Prabhupada.